when you first left at the height of your career, were you confident? Like social media obviously changes things now. It's harder to escape unless you just completely ditch it. But um, you had to be so, I'm sure, cemented in your decision and yourself to talk to a multi-billion-dollar corporation and say, "Hey, I'm out." What was that like leading up to, and then after the fact, when I'm sure people, were, "Hey, are you sure? Are you sure? We need you."
I just got this like hunger for more. You know, in the NFL is wonderful, but even if I thought of fame, okay, even if I thought of fame, I think of okay, if I'm a famous NFL player, even if I'm the best, right? NFL is not even an international sport. So there is right, and I put all my energy into that. There still was a limit of the kind of the amount of people that I could touch,
Yeah.
and so it from my perspective, it's easy when you're not in the NFL to be like, "Wow, the NFL is it." But once you're there and you're willing to look beyond, you realize this actually is kind of small. And so I felt like personally I was underachieving, that I was that I had more in me than what the NFL could offer. And then if I stayed in the NFL, I was selling myself short and kind of selling out for what? To entertain people. And to me, I just like that made me want to puke. And so it was more of disgust that led to my decision than anything else.
Was it a face-to-face conversation with head coach, management? Hey, see, how did it work?
Okay, so first conversation was with Dr. Brown, who heads the NFL's drug program. First thing I called him up and I said, "You don't have to drug test me anymore because I'm retiring."
Mhm.
Next phone call was to Dave Wanstead, and I was in Hawaii at the time, and so I called up Dave, and it's funny. He was trying. He was being a coach, and I'm sure he was shocked. Head coach here's your star player is retiring. 2 weeks before training camp starts, and he's like, "If I was your father, I would tell you you're making a mistake." What? Okay. uh, and I think those were the main two conversations. Yeah.
So it happened before training camp, and
It was July 18th.
there was some geographic distance between you
Exactly.
and the facility.
Yeah.
Which makes it a little bit easier.
It made it a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then your decision to come back.
My decision to come back. So when I retired, that's when I found yoga. I became a yoga instructor. I went to India, and I came across this idea of dharma. That we're here for a larger purpose. And I realized in the course of my story, the way that I left the NFL and the way the story went, it was going to make it difficult to re-access that platform that I just
To have
destroyed.
the influence that you feel like you need to help
Exactly.
others. Okay.
Exactly. So I realized I had to come back and like write the story so that I could have the.
So it's like the purpose of playing was less about you enjoying football, although you do, but more about like creating that platform.
Exactly. Yeah. It was, I mean, you nailed it. It was more about what football can do for me and it can support my
In turn,
goals.
that helps you help others.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And that's what I was always aiming for, but I didn't have anything other than football. So
Yeah.
I didn't have anything else. But even just that 1 year away and traveling and learning yoga and opening my spiritual path, it showed me that I have much more to offer the world and that football can actually help me offer that.